Inside Out is the 2015 animated film by Pixar. In this movie, it is about a little girl named Riley. The movie starts off from birth when Riley is born to the biggest move, the biggest change of her life when she moves. So Riley and her parents, they move from Minnesota to San Francisco, California. In this movie, it shows little Riley, her emotions, and her emotions are characters that take over the control room inside of her, which is her subconsciousness. We have joy, sadness, disgust, fear that is played by Bill Hader, and anger, who is played by Lewis Black. So this movie is perfectly casted. This movie is just genius. This is a brilliant movie. The more I think about it, it becomes more genius. The way little Riley's emotions are triggered. What triggers her emotions? The way her facial expressions and her actions are when her emotions are triggered is awesome to see. And the way she just forgets things and what makes her forget. And of course, how she has to remember things. A couple of her emotions, they do go on some kind of adventure to get things going back up once our character Riley goes deep down in the dumps with her feelings and such. This movie is truly just an adventure if there ever was one. This movie is I feel this movie is more geared to adults than it is actual kids. That is because adults have gone through puberty, they have gone through mood swings, they have gone through different experiences, they understand children, they understand emotions, so adults have that experience of everything that our character goes through. So that's why I say this movie is more geared to adults, and adults would have more of a fun time with this movie than kids would. It's just a funny movie. It's a funny movie for adults. It's a funny movie for kids. It's a funny movie for the whole entire family. It's a great movie. Personally, my favorite scene is when Lewis Black, who plays Anger, takes over her subconsciousness. And in that scene, she's at a dinner table with her parents, her mother and her father. And just the array of emotions and thoughts are going on in the scenes. Very funny to see. It was really creative, really well done. My favorite scene in the entire movie. I laughed in this movie. I smiled in this movie. I grinned in this movie. I was amazed in this movie. I was emotionally involved into this movie. You see what I did there? You see how I put my emotions into the movie about emotions? You see what I did there? Yeah, I did that. I'm cool. I know. And I would have to say, after this, I could never look at anyone's emotional behaviors again the same after this movie, even my own. People, Inside Out is a flawless film. It's just completely flawless. From the premise to the execution of this movie, it's just flawless across the board. For me personally, this movie has tons and tons of replay value. This movie doesn't need a part 2, but I feel like they're going to make a part 2. It's going to make a lot more money, or just about the same as this one did. This Inside Out is just a great movie, and this movie is legendary. This movie is legendary. In fact, people, I would have to say that Inside Out is a perfect movie. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Inside Out is perfect. It's 100 out of 100. I'm giving out my first perfect score, my first perfect rating for a movie. There's not anything bad I can say about this movie. From, like I said, from premise to execution, this movie delivers. I don't see a flaw in this movie. It has replay value. I was entertained in this movie. It's perfect. This is easily one of the best movies I've seen, with my perfect rating, of course, and it will be easily one of the best movies you've seen or will see. It's just a great film. That's all I can say. So I would have to say it's perfect. I'm giving it 100. Get in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. My first perfect rating for Inside Out. I'm done here.